Namaskaram, sir.
Namaskaram, sir.
Give me 1 minute.
Namaskaram, ma'am.
Okay. Vigraham Trinayanam Manikyamodi Spurattaranayakashekaram Smitamukim Apinavakshoruham Panibhyam Manipurnarakta Raktotpalam Bibrathim Saumyam Raktagatasth Raktacharanam Jayet Paramambikam. Where did we leave it? We finished Sloka 74?
Amam.
74, right?
Slokam 74 முடிச்சிருக்கோம் chapter.
Okay.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. So Ambal says that even though she has summoned the services of Kali and Pralaya Bandhini, she appeared in the form of Pralaya Bandhini and she swallowed the entire Pralaya waters. Shiva, came out of those Kapalam with increased force. And Sahasramukha Samyutham, thousands, as though thousands of holes had been made in that Kapalam, he came out with increased force. So, Tam Sahasramukhi Gangam Mahapralaya Sannibham Kapala Utpatitam Drishtva Bayarthat Bhuta Tapasvini. So, Ambal becomes even more scared. So, she thinks now we have necessarily incurred the wrath of Parameshwara. So now he is coming at us with double the force. So what am I going to do? So Punastad Dundene Daksha Nabhut Pralaya Bandhini Idi Samyak Vichintyatma Sahajam Purushottamam. So she thinks that she decides that there is no other recourse available to her other than calling her brother Mahavishnu. So that is where we left the previous class. So Puna Pralaya Bandhartam Chintayamasa Keshavam Tato Hari Prasannatma Daya Karunadihi Mahapriti Mahavishnu Tasya Bita Vivakshe Bhuvi Nikshipta Charanam Koti Rol Kazambaram. So Mahavishnu immediately decides to attend, listen to the call of his sister, and he comes there. Uma Prithye Mahavishnu Tasya Bita Nivarthe. So in order to help her in this moment of distress, he appears there. And then in what form did he appear? Bhuvi Nikshipta Charanam. So his feet is on the earth. Bhuvi Nikshipta Charanam Kotira Likitambaram. So his entire body is pervading the whole antariksham or space, and then the kiridam that he is wearing is touching the sky. Chandra. Then in this appearance, Chandrakantam Maharupam Samasritya Sadabhav. So his neck was as bright as the moon. So it was as much as Shiva had got the moon on his crest. Here in the case of Mahavishnu, he was not wearing the moon, but it was, a reflection like the moon. So much so shining. So Chandrakantam Maharupam Samasritya Tadavava. So he stood there, and then Tathavidum Bhrajamanam Toye Kirana Sanchayan. So he stood there in the in front of those flood waters. And then what happened? Drishtva Jale Maharupam Nishchitya Shashishekaram. So the Mahavishnu stands there. His neck is as bright as the moon, and in that moon, the flood waters reflect his neck, and Ambal sees the moon. And then she gets even more worried. Oh my God, now this even Mahavishnu is not able to stop this flood. And so now Parameshwara is coming at me because she thinks this is Shashishekaram himself. Shashishekaram is the Parameshwara who wears the moon on his crown. So, Drishtva Jale Maharupam Nishchitya Shashishekaram. So, she thinks he, this Parameshwara, who has almost come near the place where they were there, and then Meeta Beetham Harihi Gaurim Idam Vachanam Abravit. So, she is so terrified, and at that point of time, Mahavishnu consoles her and he tells her the following Harihi Gaurim Hidam Vachanam Abravit. Bhagavan Uvacha Muncha Muncha Mahabhiti Chandraganto Aham Ishwari Chandradarshana Matrena Vanchitasi Varanane. So you don't worry. I am only the Chandrakanta. I am not Chandrasekhara. So don't worry. As soon as you saw the moon, don't come to the conclusion that it is Parameswara himself. It's only me who is standing in front of you because I have come to help you out. Agamishyati toyatma haraswam adishodhitam. Then Shiva eva gadi sakshad iti dhyatva adibhaktitaha. So, in order to cleanse yourself of the difficulties of the sins that you have committed, there is no other solution than praying to Parmeshwara himself. Shiva eva gadihi sakshat iti dhyatva adibhaktitaha. Therefore, already you are meditating on Parameshwara. Know that on that Parameshwara, with even greater devotion, you should meditate on him, not only for getting him back, but for removal of all the sins, all the difficulties that you have created. In addition, you should also seek his protection also. Shiva eva gatihi sakshat iti dhyatva atibhaktitaha. Idam tat saikatam lingam alingya sharanam raja. So how you should do that? Just catch hold of that lingam that you are praying with, and just embrace that lingam. Idam tad saikatam lingam alingya sharanam vraja. So embrace that lingam and hold it tight and pray to him. Nirasya pralayam goram prasanna parameshwaraha. So if you do that, for sure Parameshwara will take pity on you, and nirasya pralayam. So the flood will be ended, and Parameshwara will bless you and he will become happy. Nirasya pralayam goram prasannaha parameshwaraha. And then what he will do? Parineshyati kalyani bhavatim drida nischayam. So for sure I am telling you, once the flood waters stop, he will ask you to, and he will get married to you. Parineshyati means to get married. So Parineshyati Kalyani Bhavatim Drida Nishchayam. So Nishchayam Idyuktva Chandrakantayatke Devaha Kamala Lochanaha, that Mahavishnu, who had the moon-like throat, Kamala Lochana, lotus-like eyes, Tadadi Vartade Tatra Kanchyam Tat Sannido Harihi. That Mahavishnu continued to decide, he decided that he will stay there in Kanchipuram itself until all the problems are solved. So, Tadadi Vartade Tatra Kanchyam Tat Sannido Hare Tataiva Mahagauri Pralayoge Samagate Shivayeva Gatim Etya Tashmin Ekagra Manasa Pralaya Ambu Visoshaya Lingamalinga Samtida, as advised by him. So Mahavishnu decided to stay there itself, and then Amba continued her meditation. How did she continue? Shivayeva Gatim. So, hey, Parameshwara, only you have to bless me, you have to protect me. So, Shivayeva Gatim Edya, Tasmin Ekagra Manasa, with single-minded devotion, she was meditating on Parameshwara, Pralaya Ambu Visoshaya, Lingam Alingya. So, she embraced that Lingam very heavily, and then she was praying that the flood water should recede and Parameshwara should come and bless her. Then Tatastasmin tu samaye kalpe Pandava Sangike Manvantare tu Bhautyake Tritiye Tamashi Shube Yuge Krathake Bhagavat Kamatavasaranvite Bhavavde Chaitrake Mase Minaste Prabhakare Shukle Chotra Palgunyam Purnimaya Maheshwaraha Tara Tritiya Bhagat Ava Virasi Umantige. So now the Muhurtam, when the miracle happened, is being described. So that Parameshwara appeared there in front of Ambal, and that time was as follows. That time is the Kalpe Tandava Sankike. So that the time, this is, we know that we by us for the Manvantaram, then Swaitavaraha Kalpam, like that we keep saying. So this Kalpam, when this story happened, was Tandavakalpam. Then Manvantare to Bauchake Tritiye Tamase. So it happened in the Tamasa Manvantram, also known as Bauthya Manvantram. So Tritiye Tamase Shubhe, Tamase Manvantare, Yuge Kritakhe. So it happened in the Krita Yugam. So the Muhurtam is as follows. Pandavakalpam, the Tamasa Manvantaram, Krita Yugam, then Bhagavad, at that time, Bhagavad Kamata Avasaranvate. So Kamata means shell of the tortoise. So this should be what? Kurma Avataram. Bhagavad, Mahavishnu had taken the Kurma Avataram at that time, Bhagavad Kamata Avasaranvate, Bhavabde Chaitrake Mase. So according to the calendar, it should be Chaitra Masam. Chaitra Masam is, for us, it is Palguni Masam. So, Bhavabde Chaitrake Mase, Minaste. So, Mina Masam, right? Mina Masam, Minaste, Prabhakare means according to the Surya Mana Panjangam, it is the Mina Masam, which is Palguni Masam. Then Shuklecha, Uttara Palgunyam means Uttara Nakshatram. Okay. So, Palguni Masam, Uttara Nakshatram. So, Uttara Palgunyam, Purnimayam, and that day it was Paurnami. So, it was Shuklavaksha Paurnami, Shuklavaksha, then Uttara Palguni Nakshatram, Paurnami day, Maheshwaraha, Tara, Tritiya Bhagat, and the third Bhagam. So, each occurrence of star is supposed to have 4 parts. So, on the Uttara Palguni, third leg, it happened. So, Tara, Tritiya Bhagat, Avirasi Umantike Tatasta Bhagavan Bhagavan Ishwar okay. Bhavani Ardasane Shubhe. So in order to give her the Ardasanam, Parameshwara appeared there. Gauri Uddhya Hastabhyam Tapayamasa Vamataha. He took Ambal with his hand, and then he placed her on his thighs and gave her the Ardasanam. So that is the Subha Muhurtam, Pankuni Masam, Uttara Nakshatram, Chuklapaksha Paurnami, and it happened in the Chaitra, in the year Bhava Varsham, and then in Kritayuga. Okay, so Tato, that was the time Ambal was blessed by Parameshwara, and he lifted her and placed her on his thigh and gave her the Ardasanam. Tato Vimukta Papacha, Tapta Kanchana Sannibha, Pranamya Shirasanatham, Suprasannam Maheswaram. Ambal was excessively happy. So Vimukta Papacha, so her sins were completely removed. And then Tapta Kanchana, that Ambal's appearance became completely Tapta Kanchanam, very hot molten gold. That is yellow color, right? So red and yellow color. Tapta Kanchana Sannibha, Pranamya Shirasa Anatham, Suprasannam Maheswaram. So Parameshwara happy, Ambal was happy. So Ambal was paid her respects to Parameshwara. Shiva Ardasanam Arukya, Babo Shingara Veshataha. So she regained her full beauty. So she was no longer appearing that Krishna Varnam. She was golden color. All her beauty was fully restored. And she climbed that Ardasana position with Parameshwara. Tato Vyomagatha Raudra Nandimukhya Akilagana. So I'm seeing that everybody in the heaven was very happy. Nandimukhya Akilaganaha. All the Devaganas, they were all very happy. Dashtvacha Shankari Leela, Gauri Vashagatam Haram, Nandadya Muniyo, Deva Shiva Kalyana Kankshaya. So they were so happy. They went to Parameshwara and then they requested that they would like to see the marriage of Amba Sri Kamakshi, Gauri, with Parameshwara. Drishtvacha Shankarim Leelam, Gauri Vashagatam Haram, Nandadhyam. So start the Nandi and all the Munis and the Devarishikar, they all of them went to Parameshwara and said, Shiva Kalyana Kankshaya, we want to see the marriage of yourself, Parameshwara, with Ambar, Agatya Rudrashalayam, Prarthayamasum Yeswaram. So they requested him. Samipastam Harim Drishva, Provacha Parameshwara. So Parameshwara noticed that not only the Devaganas were there, but Parameshwara, Sri Mahavishnu was also there. So Mahavishnu is the Ambar's brother. So he looks at him and then he said, Samipastam Harim Drishva, Provacha Parameshwara, Shunu Vishnu Mahabhaga, Gauri Kalyana Matravai, Prayabdam Karavaniti, Gatachaya Pratishtudam. So, Hari Mahavishnu, once upon a time, I had given the blessing to Gatajaya. Gatajaya means Agastya, that my marriage with Ambar will happen every year on this day in this place, Kanchipuram, accordingly. Pratishrutam, every year it will happen. Gauricha Prarthayajya Bhagini Tavamam Hare Tasmadatra Vivahat Utsavam Kriyatam Tvaya. So that marriage is supposed to happen, with Kriyata, where you are supposed to perform that marriage function. So Gauricha Prarthayajya Bhagini Tavamam Hare. So your sister Ambar, so you should give her in marriage to me. Tasmat Tandra Vivahartam Utsava Kriyatam Tvaya Iti Shambhum Vachasrutva Vishnu Natva Maheshwaram. So having heard these words of Maheshwara, Parameshwara, Mahavishnu became very happy. He paid his respects to Natva, Vishnu Natva Maheshwaram. He paid his respects to Parameshwara. Samasta Devanam Devan Ahuya Chaturmukha Parogaman Vacha Paraya Bhaktya Hari Ananda Tundilaha. So, overcome by happiness, he immediately summoned Brahma and all the devas, and then he gave them orders. Samasta Devata Nahuya Vacha Paraya Bhakti Chaturmukha Purogaman. So starting with Purogama means starting with leading all those Devaganas, which is Chaturmukha, which is the Brahma. He gave them the instructions. Vacha Paraya Bhaktya Harir Ananda Tundileha. Because she was happy that Ambar is getting married. So he gave them instructions that this marriage should be conducted as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. So, Shrunudva Makhila Devaha, Kamakshi Chutanatayoho, Kalyanam Atra Kartavyam, Yushmabihi, Tvarayudana, Tvara Aduna. So, Tvaraya and Aduna. That means what? Kamakshi's marriage. Aduna means immediately, as soon as possible. So, just now. So, Kalyanam Atra Kartavyam. So you are all responsible to do everything that is required to conduct the wedding of Kamakshi with Chutanatha. Chutanatha is the Ekamra. Chuta is mango. Chutanatha is the lord of mango tree. So with Kamakshi, Shrunudvam Akhila Devaha. So all of you are responsible to come collectively and complete this marriage function. Okay. Diggas Sargasha Sambara. Okay. The Sambara Chani Tavyaha Chana Didi. So go in all directions of in the heaven and gather all the materials that are required in 1 second in order to which are all the materials that are required for completion of this wedding function. So in 1 second you gather all of it and come. Te Shrutva so Kshanat Idhi Sambara Chane Tavyaha Chan Etavyaha. So all the Chambara means all the materials etavyaha, all which are all required for the wedding. So you gather it in 1 second and come back here. Te shrutva vachanam Vishnu ratna ananda samanvitaha. Aham aham pu aham pu aham pu aham aham purvavikya. Okay. Aham purvavikya devas prapya mudanvitaha. So as soon as Mahavishnu gave those instructions, all the devatas they all fled in various directions with great happiness, mudanvitaha, with great happiness. And then aham purvam. That means I will go first, I will go first. I will complete this task before others, like that. They all were running in all directions in order devas sarva prapya. All the devas fled in all directions to gather the material. Pratak pratakshate sarva sambaran samupaharan tato devasamanita sambhare sumanopraihi. So they gathered all the materials very quickly and brought them to in order to conduct the marriage. Then the whole preparations of the wedding started. It will run for another 15-20 slokas, I think. But the story doesn't move. It is the description of the wedding preparations. Alanchakara Madhuha Kanchya Vitischa Sarvasaha Mandapan Mandane Sarvai Salahan Salah Jan Adikanapi. So they decorated the whole city. Alanchakara Madhuha Kancham Vitisha Sarvasaya. All the streets of Kanchipuram were decorated very well. Mandapan Mandani, every building, Mandapan Mandani Sarvai, Salah Janadikanapi. They decorated practically every building in every street in Kanchipuram. How did they do it? Rambastamba, Ichu, Naranga, Narikela, Amra Satpalehi. So the trees that the trees and the fruits that they used were Rambastamba means plantain tree, banana tree. So Rambastamba, Ikshu is sugarcane, Naranga, orange, okay, Narikela, coconut, then Raskela, Amra is mango, Satpalehi. So either with the fruits or leaves or whole trees themselves, they decorated all the streets. And then in addition to the trees and fruits and all that, they also use lots of flowers. Kundara, Kunda, Aravinda, Mandara, Patali, Parijatakahi. So various different flowers still continuing. Mallika, Champaka, Ashoka, Ketaki, Bakulanvidaihi. Various kinds of flowers were used in the decoration. Then Pushpaihi, Chitravithanaisha, Kayamanaicha Shobite. The amount of flowers that they gathered and decorated in each building, Kayamanaicha, up to the height of the human being, one full person's height. So they decorated with flowers. Pushpais, Chitravithana, very wonderful, beautiful flowers they used in decorating those houses. And then Gandavat Thaila Samsikta Snigda Indu Manikuttibai. So they cleaned all the floors very well. Yeah, like how the floor was looking like as though it's a marble which is shining like the moon. Indu Manikuttibai. So it was like the floor was so clean and it was shining like moon, the moon's reflection. Gandhavat Thaila Samhika. So they used perfume oils. Then Shatakumbha Ganatkumbaihi Manikya Manitoranaihi. So in addition to the mangoes and fruits and all that, they also hung festoons which were using precious stones. So okay, so the Satakumbha Kanaka Satakumbha means gold, right? So Satakumbha Kanat Kumbaihi Manikya Manitoranaihi. So the very expensive stones were used. Dedipyamana Hemadya Divya Vastrai Virajite. So everybody was wearing beautiful clothes. Dedipyamana Hemadya, like golden color, Divya Vastrai Virajite, Swarnapurne, Kumbhagra Lasad, Deepo Pashobite. So they brought beautiful lamps with the golden lamps and lit them. Then Dagat Dagita, Hemadya, Darpana Vajra Mandite. So then lots of mirrors were used with mirrors, and then Swarna Panchalika Koti Khara Deepa Virajite. So they kept those what we call in Tamil as Pavi Vilakku, so that the lady standing holding the lamp in their hand. So that kind of Swarna Panchalika Koti Khara Deepa Virajite. So those lamps were made out of gold. Then Hema Mardala Nissana Murali Kahali Ravaihi Mukhari Krita Digbhage Veena Venuravairapi. So ladies and men with various musical instruments were positioned on the streets and everywhere, and they were all playing musical instruments. Then Urvashi, Menaka, Ramba, Natya, Penchakaranchitaihi. So all the dancers from heaven had descended on earth. Urvashi, Menaka, Rambanam, Natya Natya Vaja Ranjitaihi, then Kvachit Kinnara Gandharva Geetavani Manohare. So all those musical Gandharvas and Yakshas, they all had come down. So they were all playing musical instruments and they performing dances and all that. Kvachit Seva Samayata Surasri Ganabhushite Kvachit Sudhavara Shrihi Gita Mangala Geetake. So men and women, we don't want to go to all those details. Then Seva, some people were running around gathering things and they were making the preparations. Some people were performing music. Kvachit Muni Dujani, Muni Dujani ka Swastivachana Goshite. So the rishis and munis, they were seated in various places. They were all chanting Vedas. Then Kvachit Devasurehi Klipta Seva Kasanuti. So other people were doing various miscellaneous things which were all required for the completing the arrangements. Nana Desha Samayate Kulastri Ganabhushite Nana Desha Samayate Rajamandala Mandite. So people from everywhere, from different countries, different regions, they all had come there, both men and women. Then Kalagauta Kalabadha Rambastamba Bedire Spatika. So this is now the description of the wedding hall, wedding mandapam itself. Okay, Kalabadha Rambastamba Alibi Rambastamba Bedire Spatika Upala Sopana Jalamanchita Margike. So the wedding mandapam itself was decorated with the Kalagauta, means silver. So Kalagauta, Kalabadha, Rambastamba I already explained as the plantain tree. So both silver pillars, and then decorated with the plantain trees and all that. And then the steps to that wedding hall, the wedding mandapam was Spatika Upala Sopana. So using crystal stones, shining crystal stones, Sopana, Jalaka, Ankita Margake. Jalaka means pearls. So crystal stones, pearls, and other things were used for those steps. And then Swarna Chitrita Ullocha Patakasa Alankrade. So in addition to that, so that mandapam had lot of patakas. Those patakas were festoons, right? So they were all used. Then Charu, Chamikara, Abasa, Kalyana, Manimandape. Charu, very beautiful. Charu is beautiful. Chamikara means golden. Chamikara, Abasa, Kalyana, Manimandape. So very with gold and silver and various kinds of crystals and various precious stones that mandapam was decorated. And then Susara Ratna Vaidurya Hema Simhasanottame. So then the Simhasana, two Simhasanas were placed there, and they were decorated with Susara means crystals, precious stones. Then Ratnam, Vaiduryam, Hema means gold. So with all that, that Simhasanam was decorated. Vajramani Sankirna Kalyana Manipitake, then Kiritahara Keyura, Manikundala Bhushanaihi. So Bhushite Swarna Chitradya Patambara Parishkritam. So on that Simhasanam, then the Pitam was Vajra, we kept up. Pitam is the footrest, right? So Vajra, Manika, Sankirna, Kalyana Manipitake. So the footrest was also very decorated with various stones and all that. Krita Harake, Yura Mani Mandal Bhushanehi. So the what is that? Bhushitam Swarna, which Swarna Chitradhya Patambara Parishkritam. So there were silk clothes and then various pictures. They were all hung in that around that Mani Mandapam. So Nivesha Shankaram Vishnu Priyam Lakshmi Matharam Veita. So then Parameshwara arrived there, and then Mahavishnu and seated on the Simhasana. Now Mahavishnu calls his wife Ambar, Mahalakshmi, and tells her, look, Lakshmi Atha Abhravi. So he asks her to bring Ambar to the wedding hall. So Alankritya Priya Gaurim Akalpai Aneheti Tvai. So bring Mahal Ambar, decorate her as a nicely like as a bride, and then bring her here. Alankritya Priya Gaurim Gaurim Akalpai Anayeti Vai Patyuktam Kamala Sudva Kamakshim Prapti Takshana. Having heard the orders of Mahavishnu, Mahalakshmi went and brought Ambar, Kamakshim Prapti Takshana. At that moment, she brought Ambar to the wedding hall. So how Ambar appeared, that is in next 15 or 20 slokas. Bhushanair, I don't know, there's some, this much, I can't read it. Anyway, so Bhuvanatre,
Bhushayamasa.
Bhuvanatre Sundarim. So she was so beautiful on all the three words. And she was very well decorated. Bhuvanatre Sundarim, Sinchakanchana Manjira, Ranjitangri Saroruham. So now we start with her feet, right? So what was she wearing? Chincha Kanchana Manjira Ranjita Angri Saroruham. So in her 2 feet, she was wearing some gold colossus, right? So Chincha Kanchana Manjira Ranjita Angri Saroruham. So in her feet, she was wearing some gold colossus. Then Kanat Kanchana Dedipya Kanchi Batta Katitatam. So in her waist, she was once again wearing. So we have seen all this description in Lalita Sahasranam also. So Kanat Kanchana Dedipya Kanchi Batta Katitatam. So she was wearing the gold Udyanam, and then Mukta Kanchuka Samvita Stana Pangaja Kudmalam. So she was wearing a beautiful blouse, which were blouse. Let's say that she was wearing a beautiful blouse. So then well decorated blouse. Then Ratnanguliya Sandoha Ramaniya Karangulim. So she was wearing Kara Angulim, so finger rings. Those finger rings were have Ratna Anguliya Sandoha Ramaniya, very beautiful looking gold rings, rings, which had the stone studded rings. Then Kuruvinda Dalabadha Kataka Karambujam. So bangles. So Kuruvinda Dalabdha. So the flowery looking the Dalabadha Katakartha Karambujam, then Nagamanikya Samprapta Muktada Amala Sadgalam. So necklace. So the necklace Sadgalam. So that one was Naga Manik. What is that? Naga Manikya Samprapta Mukta. So it was Manikyam and then pearls and all kinds of precious stones. So that kind of necklace. Martanda Mandalakara Ratna Kundala Manditam. So in her earrings, so Martanda Mandalakara Ratna Kundala Manditam. So once again, golden earrings. Nasa Muktamani Vyaja Tarakan Tarakabdija Vakratam. So she was wearing nose rings which shone like stars. Then Nija Simanta Shamavad Jwalantikam. So she was wearing some ornament on her head also. Palanta Vilasad Ratnamallika Manishobitam. So various kinds of flowers she was wearing on her head. Then Vali Ratna Pali Parita Sravanadvayam Muktaratna Spurat Chuli Ramaniya Shiroruham. They're describing how her hair was decorated. That the hair was so long. It was after decoration, Mukta Ratna Spurat Chuli Ramaniya Shiroruham. So the hair was decorated with various jewels and stones and all that. Nitamba Bimba Samlamba Mani Ranjita Venikam. Correct. So with all the decorations, the hair was so long. It came up to her, let's say thighs. So Nitamba Bimba Lamba Mani Ranjita Venikam Tadi Prati Batakara Swarna Pitambaravam. And so she was the Swarna, so the lower part of the body. What was that she was wearing? The sari that was Swarna Pitambara Avratam. Gold and yellow color sari she was wearing, and it was with the gold lace jerry, right? So that is Prati Batakara Swarna Pitambara Avratam. So with everything wonderful looking, wonderful, made of great materials. Kasturi Dana Saradhya Divya Chandana Charchitam. So wearing beautiful perfumes, which Kasturi Gana Saradhya Divya Chandana Charchitam. Malli Champaka Pushpadi Mala Jhala Samanvitam. So then she was wearing garlands. Not only the jewels, she was wearing garlands which were made out of various flowers. Mandasmita Udara Pushpa Shona Bimbadara Ujvalam. So she was gently smiling because she was so happy. And Mandasmita Udara Pushpa Shona Bimba Adara Javadvalam. So that her lips were shining like bimba fruits, Kovai Param. So Bimba Adara Shovitam. Navayavana Sambuda Saundaryati Devatam. So in this way, Ambal looked so beautiful. And then Kamakshi Utpalabakshi Devim Akshina Vaibhavad. So nobody could say anything that she was short of anything, no blemish. Devim Akshina Vaibhavam Kamakshi Utpalabakshim. So very beautiful looking Ambar. Srimad Ekamranathasya Parsve Savye Nishevyata. So she came and sat in the Samadhanam next to Ekamranatha. So now the bride and bridegroom had arrived on that auspicious day. Natva Shivo Rama Bhaktya Grihitasya Kamara Vijayamasa Sinyata Vanyasa Muda Tata Mahalakshmi. She brought Ambar, and then what she did, Nabda Shiva Rama Shiva. So she paid her respects to Ambar and Parameshwara that Rama Mahalakshmi, Bhaktya Grihita Sita Chamara. Then she took a chamaram in her hand, and along with Vani, that is Saraswati, on either side they position themselves. They were Samaram Vijayame. They were use Chamaram. They would find Amba Parameshwara. So like if they say in Lalita Sahasranam, Sachamara Ramavani Savya Dakshina Shevita. So that along with the Vani, she was doing that, and then Athagyapto Maheshena Harinatva Shiva Swayam Mukhotsave Maheshasya Dasame Divase Shubhe. In this way, from that moment onwards, the wedding continued for 10 days. Dasame Divase Shubhe. Maheshasya so Mahavishnu started the function, and then it went on for 10 days. Shrikara Uttara Palgunyam Sumurte Sulagnake Brahmokta Shaiva Mantrina Sankalpyacha Ethavidi. So on that auspicious day, that Panguni Uttaram day, the function was started in the presence of Mahavishnu. And then Brahma, he was the official priest. And then Brahmokta Shaiva Mantrina Sankalpecha Davidi. He gave the Sankalpam to Parameshwara. And then the function started. Kshiradi Ramayamukte Swarna Karaka Gradha Pado Prakshalya Devasya Bhaktya Paramaya Hari. So at the beginning of the function, the first thing that you have to do is welcome the bridegroom and wash his feet. Who did that? Mahavishnu, because he is the brother-in-law. So Mahavishnu took the feet of Parameshwara, and then what did he do? Pado Prakshalya Devasya Pado Prakshalya Bhaktya Paramaya Hari. So he washed the feet of Parameshwara. Kshiradi Ramaya Muktai Suvarna Karaka Ambar Mahalakshmi. She poured the water from that golden vessel, and with that water he washed Parameshwara's feet. And then Swiya Pitambara Grene Rudu Samrajya Panina. He took his upper garment, Pitambara Grene. He wiped the feet of Parameshwara. Datva Shankara Hastabje Madhuvarkam Samantraka. Then he offered, what is that? Madhuvarkam to Parameshwara. Then Swarnakaraka Lakshmiya Muktadara Ambunasaha Srimade Kamranathaya Kamakshi Pratadauhari. So he then took Ambal's hand, and then she gave those Kanika Danam to Ekamranatha. So Muktadhara Ambunasa. So you know what, you have to pour water, right? So with that, he gave Kamakshi's hands to Srimad Ekamranatha. So the Kanika Danam was completed. Srimad Ekamranathaya Kamakshim Pradado Harihi Devopi Harina Dattam Pano Jagraha Parvatim Athadhata Vishnu Vigyampya Shambhave Mohahetave. Then the Mahavishnu Devopi Harina Dattam Pano Jagraha Parvatim. So the Panigrahanam that happened, Atha Datasa Vigyampya Shambhave Mohahetave Mangalya Sutram Devene Dharayitva Shivagale. So then Brahma took the Mangalyam, gave it to Shiva, and Shiva tied the Mangalyam to Anambal's neck. So Mangalya Sutram Devene Dharayitva Shivagale Apadayitva Habanam Vidivat Pankajasana. So Pankajasana is the Brahma. So Vidivat Pankajasana. Apadayitva Havanam. So various havans were completed. Then Krama Saptapadam Sadhu Charayitva Samantrakam. So then they completed the Saptapadi ceremony, and then Laja Homadikam Chabi Sarvamangala Karmacha. So finally they performed the Laja Homam also, and in this way all the prescribed marriage rites were completed. Karayitva Swayam Vishnu Brahmana Sahasankataha Kamakshi Vallabhadhyatva Stutva Bhaktya Nanamacha. Now Parameshwara became Kamakshi Vallabha because in holding the hands of Ambar. So in this way, Vishnu and Brahma completed the wedding function of Sri Kamranatha with Sri Kamakshi on that Uttara Palguni day. Okay. Tato Devascha Munayo Vadanto Naigimim Tudim Kechit Kechit Jai 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 Ucharine Hare Hare. So everybody was saying Jai Jai, that Jai Jai Shankara, Jai Hare Hare Shankara and all that. So they were, worshipping Parameshwara number. Tushtur Munipatnischa Srimade Kamranayakam Kata Vishnustu Manasa Dhyatvati Shankarambike. So they were all, worshipping Parameshwara. And then what happened in the wedding feast continued. Payasannai Subhakshecha Mochapana Sarashibihi. So various kinds of fruits, various kinds of excellent food was served. Bhojayitva to Pan Vipran, okay, Nanaratnaicha Bhushne, okay. After they were, the food, feeding was completed all for the Vipras, that is the priests and everyone gathered. Bhojayitva to Tan Vipran, Nanaratnaisha Bhushne. So they gave them as gifts various, precious stones and money. Gandaisha, Pushpamalabihi, Tambulai, Swarna Pushpakaihi, Brahmanas Toshayitva, Samarpayitve, Tamarpayitva Padiho, Samarpayit Vesha. So they gave them various, perfumes, Pushpamalas, Tambulam, and all kinds of things were given as gifts to those Brahmins who had gathered to perform the wedding ceremony. And in this way, they were all, upacharams were completed. Then, Vivaha Samiye Maheshaya Vishwakarma Samarpida Voho. So, what are the various things that were given as wedding gifts to Parameshwara and Amba? And Yatha Traprasamhare Bhurato Vishwakarmana Nirbito Bhutsista Kritva Ratam Yekam Hiranmayam. So when Parameshwara had gone to for Triprasamharam, at that time also this Vishwakarma had created a Ratham for him, which was the Bhuratam in the entire, I think the Bhumi itself was converted into a Ratham, and the Parameshwara went on that. So Bhurate Vishwakarmana is similar to that. Nirmito Bhutastva Kritva Ratham Yekam Nirmito Bhut Tata Kritva Ratham Yekam Hiranmayam. He gave a golden chariot as the wedding present to Parameshwara number. Then Utsavaya Maheshasya Vishwakarma Dadamuda. So on that occasion he gave. Then Arpayamasa Bhagavan Spatikam Chatramuttamam. Bhagavan is Devendra. Spatikam Chatramuttamam. He gave an umbrella that was made out of Spatikam crystals. Okay? Spatikam Chatramuttamam. Jata Makutakam Divyam Nanaratna Vibhushitam Dadau Tatra Maheshaya Shambhaya Kamalasana. So Mahavishnu gave Jata Makutakam Divyam Navaratna Vibhushitam. So Mahavishnu gave a crown. So Dadau Tatra Maheshaya Shambhaya is Parameshwara. Kamalasana. Mahavishnu gave to his brother-in-law Parameshwara a crown. A crown as the wedding present. Tatho Brahmadeo Deva Bhaktaha Pashupatottamaha Tatasyantane Kale Jatamakutta Bhushitam. So with all the various gifts given by various people, Amba and the Parameshwara, they were seated on the Simhasanam, Uma Sametam Ishanam, Divye Bhumirate Shubhe, Spartikachatra Sambhite, Samaropya Mahirsavam. So then the procession started. They went around the town. Karayitva Punapide. Swastane Stape Shankaram, Tesavre Prarthayamasu, Kanchiam Sannidhyam Ishiduho. So the wedding procession was taken around the town. the procession was completed. Then they brought the Charatham back to the Swasthanam, and then they all prayed to Parameshwara and Ambar so that they should stay permanently in Kanchipuram and bless all the devotees. Te sarve prarthayamasu Kanchyam Sanidhyam. So they all requested Parameshwara and Ambar to stay there in Kanchipuram itself. Ishvara Vacha Aham Mandakini Thire Kailase Parvatotame Sadashiva iti Khyado Nivasami Yatha. So you all know that I reside in Kailasam on the banks of Mandakini river, on the Himalayas, Parvatotame. Sadashiva iti Khyade. So known as there, I am known as Sadashiva in the same way. Yata tata Ekamranatha namnaiva Kamakshya saha santatam. In the same way, I will reside in Kanchipuram along with Sri Kamakshi in the name of Ekamranatha. Ekamranatha namnaiva Kamakshya saha santatam Kanchyam Rasala Bhutletre Nivasam Astrita Ishtadaha. So I will stay in this kshetram, in that Ekamras tree, Rasala Mule Atra Nivasamyam, okay, Nivasami Astrita Ishtadaha. So out of our own accord, we will continue to stay here in this Kanchipuram under the Ekamra tree, and I will be known as Ekamranatha, and Ambal will be known as Sri Kamakshi. Ekamranatham nive Kamakshya saha santatam. I will permanently stay here. Yuyam bhavanto yad bhaktaha sada maddarshane rataha sarvada tatreva tishtantu kailasa adike prem. So as much as even with greater pleasure than my residence Kailasa, I will be here in this Kanchipuram or Sarvadaha permanently. Sarvada Atraiva Tishtantu. I will be here permanently. For what reason? Bhaktas Sada Maddarshanit. So that all the devotees can get our darshan. And what then he gave them instructions. What is the instruction? Varshe Chaitramase Mat Prasanna Dineshube Mama Gauryasya Kalyanam Alankaram Cha Pujanam Utsavam Cha Prakutbruntu Vipra Aradhana Purvakam Ityuktva Shankarastebhya Tatraiva Vasa Krishtadi Tato Ashtavarshika Gauri Natva Tutva Maheswaram. So then he gave them instruction. The instruction is every year on this day, the Mad Prasanna Dine, the day on which I came and gave blessing to Sri Kamakshi, that day, Mat Prasanna Dine Shubhe, Mama Gauriyasya Kalyanam Alanka. So you should complete, you should conduct the festival of my Kalyanam. So with the Kalyanam, with the wedding with Kamakshi, Alankaram Cha Pujanam Utsavam Cha Prakurvantu. So you should conduct that festival and then can conduct the required pujas and then conduct the Vipra Aradhanam. So everything, so Brahmana Bhojanam and everything should be completed. Ityukta Shankaratyabhya Ravetro Vasadrishtahi. Then so Dishtva Sama Javam Tatra Bhaktan Anugraha Kamshaya. So in this way, whoever all the bhaktas can gather and get our blessings of myself and Amba. Suprita Sarva Bhaktiyabhya Tebhyo Gauri Varam Dadao. This is this was the instruction given by Parameshwara. Then Ambal gave the Varam, the blessing to this place. Shiva Avirbhava Divase. Shiva Avirbhava Divase Kanchyam Ekam Rasannidam Kalyanam Avayor Bhaktya Yaschare Purushottavaha Samprapnothiha Tatkodi Kanyadahana Palam Shubham. So whoever takes part in the wedding, whoever takes part in conducting the wedding, whoever attends the wedding, whichever Shiva Avirbhava Nivase Kancham Ekamra Sannidho Kalyanam Avayor Bhakti, Avayor only. So even if you attend that wedding, that is good enough. Yet Sreshta Purushottama Samprapto Diha Tatkodi Kanyadana Palam Shubham. So they will get the punyam as though they had themselves done Koti Kanyadana, so Koti weddings, right? 1 crore wedding. Iti Dattva Varam Gauri Achabhyam Akhilatmanam Sarvakama Pradhanine Kamakshi Iti Abhidhanvita. So this Ambal gave that blessing to all the devotees who are gathered there, and because she is giving, she gives all the devotees all their desired things, whatever they request. Sarvakamya Pradhanine Kamakshi iti Abhidhanvita. So therefore she is known as Kamakshi. That is one of the meanings. Okay, so Kamakshi iti Abhidhanvita Vamabhagi Maheshasya Vasanti Suchiram Sati. So she is the Ardhasana, means half is part, Vamabhagam. So she stays there permanently with Parameshwara. Vamabhagi Maheshasya Vasanti Suchiram Sati Mahashakti Samabhavat Kamakshi Sacha Parvati. So with there in Kanchipuram, she is known as Kamakshi along with Ekamnatha. Adhya Tatra Mahadevo Lingarupena Vasate. So there, that Parameshwara is stands there in the form of the Shaikata Lingam, Lingarupena Vasate, Pura Pasupada Shrestha, Bahavo Mokshakamkshaneha, Sevya Tasya Devaste, Gataste Shambhavam Padam. So whoever had worshipped Parameshwara in the day in the form of Ekamnadam, Tasya Devasya, Gatate Shambhavam Padam. They all attain the Parameshwara's Shivalokam. That is, in this way, the story is completed. And then they usually tell the story of, to establish this, that will happen. They tell a short story. That short story is, Teshu Kaschit Puravipra, Kaveri Tira Samstitaha, Tatra Thala Puravasi, Krishnavedi Dvijottamaha, Namna Shambur Itikhyado, Rudrashala Dharatale. So there is one Brahmin. So that Brahmin is from some town in Kaveri Tiram, Tanjavur, let's say, Kaveri Tira Samstitaha, Tatra Thalapuravasi. The name of the town he came from is Thalapuram, and Krishnavedi, Krishna Yajurveda, Dvijottamaha, Namna Shambhu. His name was Shambhu, Itikhyado, Rudrashala Dharatale. He came to this Rudrashala, that is Kanchipuram, Shiva Kalyanam. Shiva Kalyanam Alokya Haravir Avasare Punashpadesham Asta Ayuta Samvatsaravadi. So he attended this Shiva Kalyanam in Kanchipuram. Alokya. He got the darshana of the Shiva Kalyanam and in that great occasion, and then he went back to Punas, Swadesham Asthaya. So he went back to his own town, Thalapuram, and then Ayuta Samvatsaravadi. He lived there either as a result of seeing the wedding or even otherwise. Ayuta Samvatsaravadi. See, he lived there for 1,000 years. So, Jiva Tenaiva Dehena Swavamsha Abhivriddhikam. So so if he lived 1,000 years, how many generations he must have seen. So Swavamsha Abhivriddhikam Drishtva Sahasra Parjantam Tat Putra Anumalaya. So there thousands of children and grandchildren he should have got because he lived 1,000 years. Drishtva Sahasra Parjantam Tatputra Anumalaya Kanyadana Phalodbhutaihi Kutumbahi Parivarata. So as a result of this Kanyadanam he had seen, his Kutumbam was, there was so much Abhivriddhi in his family. Bhuktva Bhoga Shukainaiva Dehante Shankare Ganaihi. So he lived his life fully, happily, healthy, and then Bhuktva Bhogan Sukha Eva Dehante Shankare Ganehi. So he died after 1,000 years, and then he went to Shivalokam. Aropito, that there was Shivaganas king, Aropito Vimanishpin, Prayo Shambhavam Padam, Tasmat, Kalyana Varda, Sakshat, Mukti Pradoharaha. So this he went to Kailasam. For this reason, it is known that this whoever attends this Kalyanam, Sakshat Mukti Prado, that Kalyanam, who is capable of giving Mukti to whoever attends that wedding function. Vartate Rudrashalayam Rasale Girijanudhe Kotilinga Pratishtayam Yat Palam Stapakashitu. In addition, whoever attends that wedding function, they get the punyam of having Kotilinga Pratishtayam Yat Palam. So having established, having consecrated 1 crores of temples. So Linga Pratishtayam Yat Palam Stapakasya. So you will get that equivalent amount of punyam as though you have consecrated a crore of temples, right? Tat Palam Labade Martyat Sakrit Chate Isha Sevaya. So in this way, that is the equivalent palam you will get. Etat Rahasyam Akyadam Rasalesha Prakashakam. So we have completed telling you the story of this Kamakshi Ekamranatha Vivaham. So whoever reads or listens to this story, Yatpate Shuniya Nityam Yamam Adhyayam Adharat Darshana Chutanathasya Yat Palam Tat Palam Bhave. So whoever listens to the story, whoever reads the story also, they will get the same benefit as having attended the wedding function of Sri Kamakshi and Sri Ekamranatha. In this way, the most auspicious part of this Kamakshi Vilasa, the wedding function of Sri Kamakshi and Ekamranatha, is completed, and we will continue the 9th chapter, which is the Sarvatirtham, and then a few other chapters. We will continue next week almost. Okay? Namaskaram. Have see you all.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Mama. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Mama, thank you.